hand warmers or whatever. I think being overly hot and sweaty, that's a hard bit, especially because there's a lot of action in this film. You know, when there's the big spider fight and stuff, you know, I remember schwitzing like a bugger on that one, because you just run around for 10 minutes in those feet, in the ears and the wig and everything. Damn, the wig. You know, you will really be dripping with sweat.
On the feet front, it said in the little bump that I got when I came out, 100 different feet you had.
Oh, at least. I mean, way more than 100.
What do you do? Do you wear your feet? It's all the running.
Well, because you have running you have pairs that are slightly more finessed for close-ups. You have pairs that are less finessed but stronger for wide shots. But also because it's very thin material, so it's easy to rip. You can sometimes rip them just when you're pulling them on. And certainly if you're standing on rocks and more rugged terrain, they will rip at some point.
Is it like a stocking?
Yeah, it is basically, yeah. It's a two-person job. So usually Heather and a glamorous assistant would pull them up. I'd sit in a chair like this and they would pull them up. They come up to sort of mid-thigh. And so you never know kind of where he ends and I begin, sort of thing.
See, now I really want to watch it again, just to stare at your feet and your legs.
Yeah.
We've got one more question. Shall we have a look?
Alexander from the UK, please.
Hi Martin, really enjoy the way you bring Bilbo-Baggins to life. My question is, you like to talk to bad guys in The Hobbit, so I was wondering, who would you like to talk that is bad in The Lord of the Rings? Thanks.
Bad in Lord of the Rings.
Did you watch Lord of the Rings?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, I know Lord of the Rings very well. Well, one of the most layered... See, I try not to deal with good and bad. There's good and bad in everyone.
Oh, you're such a hobbit.
Thank you. The bad side of... And I know I've already dealt with Gollum in my one, but I do love that layering of the good and bad in Gollum, and I think it's certainly to the fore in the first trilogy. I love that... Yeah, there's the complicated side of Gollum, the fact that you don't really know if he is a goodie or a baddie, but when he is a baddie, he's so... It's not outright evil, but it's not just mischief either. It's properly dangerous and quite nasty and horrible. Yeah. But I like the fact that you would have a back and forth with him, because he's quite smart, Gollum. He's a clever being, and nasty as well. But you don't really know what ground you're on with him. Do you know what I mean? Because one minute he's being fine, and the next minute totally devious.
And he's a character, as someone watching the film, that you really get excited that he's about to come on screen.
Absolutely. I remember the New York premiere of the first Hobbit film. I mean, you know, as soon as the crowd heard that thing, people just cheered and clapped. Yeah.
What was that, Andy Serkis standing there on the microphone doing it?
He was, he can't help himself. He just wants people to clap wherever he is, and he knows that's the quickest way for them to do it.
I do feel sad for him, though, because Peter Jackson's always employing him and putting him in different characters, never looking like he does.
No, and I suppose he even played a cook in King Kong. He played as well as being Kong, he also played a live-action human in that, but it still didn't really look very much like Andy. He had a bloody great moustache and, you know, and dressed as a chef. I know.
He's got lovely hair as well.
He's one of the loveliest people I've ever met, Andy.
Right, can we have a look now at some of your running and your action scenes?
Yes, please do.
This is an exciting moment from the film.
Leave it, we're in the cellars. We're supposed to be leading us out, not further in. I know what I'm doing. This way. Into the barrels, quickly. Are you mad? They'll find us. No, they won't. I promise you. Please, you must trust me. What do we do now? Hold your breath. Hold my breath? What do you mean?
See, I'm going, put the rig on!
Yes, but what would I do then?
I know.
The ring wouldn't help. Being invisible wouldn't help because I'm literally locked in.
You're still there. But
yeah.
I won't say anything, but there is a way that you find to get out.
Yes, I do.
And then it leads into my favourite sequence.
It's amazing, yeah, it's amazing. It's one of those examples where, you know what you're filming at the time, but you don't know what it's going to end up. But I didn't know it would end up being as huge a sequence as it has been.
But it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how long it must have taken to film that, and to get the finished product as well with all the CGI.
Oh, God, yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, months and months for the post-production stuff. I mean, I think I was, you know, what happens next may involve me being in water, and that might have taken about a week. Yeah, I mean, just a week being sort of soaking wet all day, every day. Yeah.
I do have a note that I'd like to pass on. If you could, next time you're in Middle Earth, if you could just... It makes me worry as a mum as well. Can you just speak to the town planner and ask them to invent the handrail? There's a lot of steps with no barriers, and I worry that someone's going to fall down and get in trouble.
But you know, that's like New Zealand. New Zealand is like we were sort of 40 years ago. Health and safety hasn't really crept up on New Zealand yet. You can be walking along a sort of cliff face and not a handrail in sight.
Oh my goodness.
Mountain road, sea, 400 foot, certain death. Not a rail. They expect you to use your common sense.
You see, I bet for a kind of a huge production like this, the health and safety forms are about that thick.
Man, yeah, they're
thicker than the script,
thicker
probably.
Than the script, yeah. No, they do look after us. Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much.
Thanks,
it's been brilliant to talk to you about The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Smaug.
There we go.
Think crowd.
Smaug. There we go. It's out in the UK on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Very lucky for you. Very lucky for you.
Friday,
but just check, if you're anywhere else in the world, just check local listings to find out when it's out. Martin Freeman, thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.